Welcome back to the Titanium Hangar. This is Mike coming at you with the weekly news and review for June 4th, 2023, and there is so much news this week. I actually had a generic video planned for today, but I got back from Disney World in time, been gone for 8 or 9 days, and so all the content that's been posted is like 2 or 3 weeks old. So anyway, I really wanted to get some fresh content up here, and so I'm going to be doing this. There's a lot of Transformer stuff to cover today. It's G.I. Joe June, so there's a whole lot of stuff going on with G.I. Joe. Well, only with Classified, by the way. Some stuff going on with good old Todd McFarlane, and a few things going on over there. Pretty interesting and exciting. Some Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle stuff. We're going to talk a little bit about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And a few other things, and really almost no Star Wars news, but I will talk about what little there is coming up. Alright, so starting out, some new stuff at shows. We've got pre-orders for the TransArt BWM12 Maximal Silverbolt, and this is 7.28 inches tall, due out in first quarter of 2024, and it looks pretty cool. This is a pretty good company, makes great looking stuff. I look forward to it. If you're into the Beast Wars, then you probably want to pick this up. Seems like Takara has very little plan for Beast Wars going forward. So Pengu Toys has got a couple things going on right now. This is the PT-03, the Lion Face Commander Lio Convoy, and this is supposed to be 5.91 inches tall. Comes with the main figure, cannons, interchangeable hands, and of course transforms. It is $1 down. No price just yet on this one, but it looks pretty interesting, looks pretty cool. We'll keep you posted on this. And speaking of Pengu Toys, this is the PT-02B Defensive Fort with LEDs. This is the blue one, the Guardian, and it is $1 down. I don't know the price just yet, but the other one was $85. I'm hoping it's the same. This should have some of the improvements. And Shozi also has Hoist from Takara. It's the Masterpiece MP58 Hoist up for pre-order. So let's take a look at this guy. He looks pretty good. Actually, this is a bit of a reuse of a few parts from their Masterpiece Trailbreaker, but this is kind of what all the companies do. They always kind of make the Trailbreaker, then they make the Hoist based off of it, but there's a lot of change. So a lot of these parts are different. It's not an exact recolor or repaint, and neither was the original G1 back in the day. So with it, I think it looks pretty good. I see a lot of paint on this, and I see a lot of the complaints that we saw with the Trailbreaker kind of not present on this one. Looking at the sides, it seems to be a little bit cleaner, more cleaned up. I think it's a pretty good overall looking figure, and I do like the paint, and I do like its tune, and some people are not going to like that. Some people aren't going to like the tune, and would I prefer silver legs? I think I might actually, but it all matches. So the arms and the legs, they match. That's cool. That's good. It's great. I'm going to get one. I'm going to check it out. I'm going to figure out if I like this one better than the X-Transbots and the Fans Toys and all that kind of stuff, but I still think it looks great. Here is the alt mode, and it looks pretty good in the alt mode, so it does what it needs to. I'm not exactly sure what's going on with the side of the window. That is probably more accurate to how it's supposed to be, but pretty cool, pretty interesting, a lot of features, and quite a few accessories. So here's all the accessories that come with it, and it gets that crane, a swappable front bumper and grill, and then of course all of the obligatory stuff that comes with this character from all the different iterations. There is a bit of kibble kind of showing at the bottom there, which is a little distracting, but I like mine in bot mode the most, so I can handle a little bit of that in the alt mode. Anyway, when we get our hands on it, we'll decide which one is the best. Okay, so we have 3-0 with their Rise of the Beast, Bumblebee, and kind of showing some teasers of some other figure coming for the Optimus Primal. So they have the Optimus Primal on the way, and of course we already know about Optimus Prime and all that kind of stuff. Let's take a look at this Bumblebee again. Okay, so he's supposed to have a ton of articulation, and he is due out in third quarter of 2024. Supposed to have some LEDs in there, and a whole lot of good stuff going on with this guy, but the thing is, it doesn't transform, and it is for the Rise of the Beast movie, Bumblebee movie, and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, it looks pretty cool, pretty interesting. Here he is from the back. And there's just a ton of pictures. We could probably go through all of them and be here all day, but there's so much other news to talk about. And looks pretty cool. A lot of pictures showing all the stuff he can do. Pretty cool. If you're into it, then you're continuing with this line. Pretty cool. Staying sort of in the same vein of the 3.0, we have the Flame Toys Fury model G1 Hound, and this actually is a sample with color on it, and this is what he looks like. So, looks a little bit different than I would expect a Hound to look, but they're going for that stylized look, not exactly going for G1 and all that kind of stuff. So, this is part of the easy-to-build Fury model line and using the new stylized design. So, that is what it is, and it can do a whole lot of stuff. It should have quite a bit of posability and all that kind of stuff going on with it if you're interested in this guy. So there's a lot of different action poses right here that you put it in. And again, it's kit, so you have to build it. And that's, I guess, part of the fun with this guy. And I just think it's kind of cool that they are going as far as they are with this line if you're into the style. Okay, so next we've got Takara again with the MPG-06 Masterpiece Trainbot Kayan, and more images of this now. I kind of have been keeping up with this, but I thought it was already done. But that's what he looks like. They say it's Masterpiece. This feels more like it's for mainline Hasbro Chug and stuff, but we know that the bot mode is kind of the least of what the design was for, and they focused on the train the most. Train looks cool. It looks like a real train you'd see, so I think that's nailing it, exactly what they were going for, what they were working on. And so with all of them, it's the same story. Actually, I thought they were done with this. Maybe this is number 6, so is this the last one? So you can actually combine it and have this going on. I don't know who all is keeping up on this and combining this. I still think the Moon Studio looks cooler, looks better in bot mode, and they look really good in train mode. And I don't know how hard these are to transform because I didn't get in on this at all. But there it is. It'll be fun to see this chapter close and move on to something else with Takara. Maybe we'll get more G1 stuff after this is all over. Okay, so getting into some of the Legends stuff, Magic Square is working on their Bruticus, and one thing I did not notice that they were doing was making 2 separate releases. I thought that they were making them to where you could just swap parts in the box, but you have to order them separately and make sure you're ordering the right ones. So if you look at this one here, so the one on the left is G1 and the one on the right is supposed to be IDW. So whenever you're ordering these or pre-ordering, no matter where you're getting them from, make sure you are ordering the ones you want. If you want the G1 versions, order the G1 versions. If you want the IDW, order the IDW. I really don't see much of a difference in them at all, really. But if you want it to be correct, then you need to keep up with it. That's why I prefer box sets at the end of the day. I would much rather have box sets of these, but that's just not how it goes for the first run. Maybe the second down the road, we get box sets. I know New Age is doing box sets, so I might pick this up in a box set, like a recolor, repaint, and all that kind of stuff down the road. But this is kind of exciting, and it looks like it's going to be a really good set. As for New Age, they have released their New Age Michael H53D. This is a Diaclone version or something along those lines. And I actually looked up exactly what this was when I did my video on Omega Supreme, kind of looked into that. But this mimics that. So anyway, it looks really cool, looks pretty good. $184 is the price that I see right here, which is, it's a bit pricey when you think about Pengu being only like $85. But I really do like the motor that turns and all that kind of stuff. So pretty cool set overall. And to have what would be really expensive to try to track down the actual vintage version, and it's about the same size and all that kind of stuff from the pre-G1 version is kind of what it would be. Okay, so Diamond Select is making something called the Transformers VHS 2023 VHS miniature box set, and these are sort of like miniature Super Deforms, all that kind of stuff, but they're $30, so lock in your $30 pre-order, and there's only going to be 1,500 of these made, and it comes packaged in a VH style slipcase with original movie artwork and design on it. And these can be ordered anywhere like TF Source, Entertainment Earth, BBTS, Robot Kingdom, Chosen Prime, Ages 3 and Up, and those places. Alright, so there's some mainline news here with the buzzworthy Bumblebee Studio Series SS102 Rise of the Beast, Voyager, Optimus Prime, and I think we've seen this with other pictures that really were unofficial, and this is still unofficial. But anyway, that's what it looks like, and looks pretty cool, looks pretty good. These in-hand pictures are pretty cool because you can kind of see it compared to some other stuff that maybe Hasbro wouldn't be comparing it to. So this one is the one on the right there. And here it is in alt mode in comparison. Right there, that looks pretty cool, looks pretty good for a Bumblebee movie, Optimus Prime. So speaking of Optimus Prime, there's the Transformers Lunar Cruiser Prime. Looks to me like it's only going to be something that you can order from a Japanese site called campfire.jp. But it's going to come with a Lunar Cruiser Prime body, solar panel parts, antenna parts, limited display stand, and looks pretty cool. Looks pretty interesting. Looks like something that if you really want this, you got to figure out how to get it from that site. But I saw this and I was on vacation and I thought, what is this? You know, I see it on my phone and I'm thinking it's just a joke, or you know, a lot of people like to make these kind of customs or something like that. But this is really real. It's really cool, and it's so interesting that they did this. Well, everything's got to turn into Prime, I guess. So it looks cool if you're into it. It's going to be a challenge to get. So we got the Takara Tomy Transformers Rise of the Beast Optimus Primal, and with that, this is a premium design and deco done by Takara. Retails around $60, and it should ship in October 2023. And you can order it pretty much anywhere, so that's pretty cool. But this is not going to be something that you see at the Walmart or other places. This is something special that Takara is making, so it's pretty interesting. It's pretty cool if you're into all of this. Here's the alt mode. I think we're just going to be inundated with different versions of Optimus Primal and Optimus Prime with this Rise of the Beast, but maybe that's good, maybe it's bad. I don't know which version is going to be the best or which one people like the most, but it's fun to have different options. This one looks pretty cool, looks pretty good, but it is $60. Alright, so we got a first look at Legacy Evolution Deluxe Shadow Striker, and this does look like a pretty interesting figure that is going to be coming out pretty soon. So it's similar to the Robots in Disguise 2001 Sideburn, and going to probably get retooled into that in the future. So this is probably what's going on with it. So I don't know a whole lot about that era, but I can kind of talk about it. I think that the car looks cool, so the alt mode looks pretty interesting also, and he does kind of have a shield. I think it's a shield. I think it uses part of the top as a shield, but we'll probably know more about it as time goes by. Still interesting looking figure, and of course they're kind of stretching the breadth of the line so that it can include more eras, which is kind of cool. It's kind of fun, and it's not all just G1, right? Okay, so we got an Amazon exclusive, which is another Jurassic Park Transformers collaboration, which is going to have Decepticon Deluficon versus Autobot JP12, which is the Jeep and the Spitter, I believe. And that's kind of cool. It's interesting that they could work all this out and make it work together to do this, and that's great. A lot of people were saying this is a heavy remold of a Hound, which I'm not sure. I've seen people talking about that, but I'm not 100% sure yet. But I think it looks good. I think it looks good in both modes, and they're achieving what they're trying to achieve. I think the other one was a good set, too, and a really good idea if it's something that you want for your collection. Here they are in the alt modes, and I think the alt modes work. It works really well. It works really fine. And $75 for the set of two, I feel like it's a bit steep, but the fact that there's probably not going to be a whole lot made, and especially since the last one didn't sell well, and it went on super steep clearance for a while there. So with it, $75 is a much better price point than what they were selling the other one for over $100. But these are smaller figures. But anyway, if you're interested in it, Amazon exclusive. So we've got some more maybe reveals or maybe just speculation. But most of this stuff comes true. So we're going to talk about it real quick. So we got the Transformers Generation Legacy Deluxe G1 Optimus Prime. We have a Voyager Cyber Vector Prime. We have an Armada Galvatron, and we have the Voyager Origins Wheeljack. So see, the Origins Wheeljack, and last week I was thinking about that's something that's coming on the way, and it is. So it should have been all along, and I'm sure they had it planned, and I'm sure they were thinking Wheeljack would be the best of the three that they were making, and it would probably be something along the lines of a Target exclusive. Anyway, Deluxe Magnius, and it's Deluxe Rock 1 and Core Rock Boulder Crash. So some stuff found in a computer system. Maybe it's all getting made. Maybe it's right. Maybe we're way off. Okay, so the Rise of the Beasts is coming this week, June 9th. Transition got me there. So I'm trying not to just talk about all Rise of the Beast stuff, but that's pretty much 90% of what the news is that's coming out. But there's a lot of cool stuff that's going along with this. It has an official rating of PG-13, a runtime of 126 minutes and 57 seconds. And they're promoting the heck out of this. So these statues have been moved around to different countries and different cities. Now it's in New York, and so they rolled up to New York. It looks great. These statues just blow my mind that they're doing this and moving these around. Still a lot of fun, and it's just interesting to see them in different environments. But getting ready for this movie, are you excited for it? I'm interested in it, and I'm going to definitely give it a shot. So I don't talk about every game that's going on, but there's a collab with Roblox. So they're targeting younger audiences with this, which is pretty interesting, with the collaboration of Rise of the Beast and Roblox, and it's available June 9th from what it says here. And with that, they're going to go on a 90s globe-trotting adventure with Autobots and introduce a whole new faction of Transformers the Maximals to join them as allies. So, be interesting to see how this goes and how popular it is and all that kind of stuff, and if the kids are into it. But Roblox, it seems to be pretty big, almost as big as some of the other game franchises that are out there. Okay, so G.I. Joe June is kicking off, and there's quite a few things going on with G.I. Joe June. And they did already reveal pre-orders for a lot of stuff here. So this is the Arctic Bat, and he's got a whole bunch of different gear that other bats don't have, and different head and all that kind of stuff. So that's up for pre-order. What looks like pretty much everywhere that you usually pre-order your stuff and all that kind of stuff. So it's not an exclusive. Then we get into the Python Crimson Guard, which I think is cool, and I have the original one from back in the day, mine from when I was a kid, and I didn't care for it so much back in the day. I appreciate this stuff a whole lot more now, and so I will be interested in getting this. You can get it at Hasbro Pulse or Target, and that's pretty much the only places that you can get that. And then you've got the Dusty. Now, it says right here, Dusty should be a Target and Hasbro Pulse only. It seems like all these ones that are Target and Hasbro Pulse, the Hasbro Pulse stuff has sold out. I don't think people trust pre-ordering from Target anymore after the Outback situation. But one thing I've noticed is the Target ones seem to be showing up with plenty of stock later. When they arrive, there's plenty for everyone, so it's not a problem to get them. He does look really cool. Both these look cool. I'm interested in seeing how deep they go with this, how deep the line goes. So, really excited about that. And then we get into probably my favorite release of all of these, and we knew it was coming, but it's the Trouble Bubble with Televiper. I've already pre-ordered 2 of these. I want to say that for what you're getting, the price of $55 is very reasonable. They could have done a whole lot more and just got away with it, I guess. But this is pretty reasonable. Could they have done it cheaper and done it at the $40 price point? Because I don't think there's any more plastic in this thing than there is in that cycle. But they could have gotten away with 40 and been profitable and all that kind of stuff, probably. But I'm okay with 55 because I'm ordering several of these, probably 3 or 4 or 5. I don't know how many. I gotta really be careful and work it in the budget. But it is a good idea to put it with the Viper 2, Televiper, so that you can troop build Televipers and have extra pods for, like, maybe a Baroness or Destro or Cobra Commander or any of those. The 2 of them from Crimson Twins and all that really is awesome. This thing looks fantastic. I think it looks spot on to what I would expect it to. It's not an exact replica and upscale of the vintage one. It is the vintage one looking more sophisticated and bigger and adding more stuff to it that probably should have been with the original one. But I really like this. Very excited for it. I think they've done a fantastic job on this overall. So, and I really haven't had much time to get anyone else's opinion, or I don't know if there was a live stream out there. I missed it because I was too busy doing other things. So I'm really just looking at pictures and looking at price points and all this kind of stuff as I go. And so with this, I'm curious what you guys think about this. Do you think it's priced right, overpriced, underpriced? Do you think it's a great value? Are you in on it? I'm curious. over at histank.com, they've got a whole lot of stuff that they are talking about what's coming up. So kind of breaking all this down real fast. So they think what's going to happen in Wave 5 is going to be Firefly, Hawk, Ripper, Tunnel Rat, and Lowlight, but it possibly could be Buzzer, Helix, Snow Serpent, Crimson Viper, and Grunt. So don't really know, and we'll get into this here in a bit. Then there are now 3 different price points. So they're talking about the Steel Core 2-pack. There's also rumor of a Crimson Strike team with the Crimson Baroness and Crimson Twins in Crimson. And so I don't know a whole lot about that. That sounds pretty cool. Also, a Night Force Shockwave is a possibility. And Shadow Tracker being Walmart exclusive to the Walmart Con. And then Amazon Collector Con would have an Arctic Ninja Nunchuck. And then Target Collector Event would have a Tiger Force Flint, Python Patrol Ninja, Python Patrol Televiper with a Trouble Bubble Fly Pod in the Redeco possibility. And then Chuckles with Armory. So these are all rumors and speculation at this point. What's not rumor about this classified Crimson Viper and Grunt action figures. So these have been revealed. Pictures of them revealed. So this is still at the render phase, I believe. I don't think this is the actual figures. They're just renders. But the renders look so real on these that they do look like real figures. So it's still pretty cool looking, pretty interesting. Again, there's some controversy about, like, should we have this many different color Vipers? Should we not just issue more regular Vipers and all that kind of stuff? But I'm pretty sure people out there are going to be collecting every different color Viper. But it seems like they don't sell as well once you get into these offshoots, these recolors and all that kind of stuff. And then, of course, Grunt. Grunt is, I would say he's necessary if you're really excited about the first 12 and 13 that came out. So June 5th at 11 a.m. they're going to be talking about what the next HasLab is going to be. And a lot of people expect the HasLab to be probably Dragonfly. And I don't know. And then some people are saying it may be one of the tanks and why it would not be a Mobat and all this kind of stuff. Probably Dragonfly. But if it's not, I mean, I don't know. I at this point, I have no idea what Hasbro thinks and what's going on in their minds. I don't think exactly like them, so I just have to kind of keep up with buying what I do buy and don't buy. And with that, I might not be able to swing a HasLab this year, but I might. It just depends on what it is and what I got to reallocate and all that kind of stuff. So look forward to seeing what it is. I'm not sure how deep or heavy I'll be sporting it. And now we know we're going to be getting a retro version of a classified Firefly, but Mezco's putting out theirs for 112. They've got more pictures of their version, which of course is going to have soft goods and a whole lot of stuff with it. For $112, it's a bit steep, but probably the best one that will ever get made. Or I'm sure someone will one-up it down the road, but one of the best ones that ever gets made. And it probably will be better and feel more quality than the Hasbro one for $25. But I don't know. It's just really hard to collect something that has 315 figures, but they're going to release like 3,000 figures over the course of the next decade to be paying $112 a piece. For me personally. But some other people, like if that's your character and your favorite character, I can see people dropping 112 on this. Well, they almost always sell out too. And they come with a ton of accessories, so that's where they kind of make up sort of the value a little bit with accessories. If you need all these accessories, which they do look pretty cool. It does look like an awesome set that's coming your way for Mezco 112, meaning 6-inch scaled with classified. Alright, so getting into some fun stuff with Mcfarlane. Todd McFarlane Toys here. Robin is coming with a Tim Drake variant. Batman with a black suit variant for the superpowers, of course. Then there's going to be a Walmart exclusive Reverse Flash, and then a Superman variant, and then the Flash Rebirth variant, Thomas Wayne Batman Flashpoint, and then there's going to be a 3-pack with a Peacemaker, Judo Master, Vigilante, and then Whirly Bat. Whatever the heck Whirly Bat is, I don't know what it is. Looks like an iteration of Justice Jogger made for Batman. That's what it looks like to me. And if that was an unproduced prototype or something, then I am on board with it. Well, I have to admit, I'm kind of on board with everything they make for this line. I really like it. The price point's right for the most part. The figures aren't always the greatest, but they're not horrible for the price point. Alright, and there's some other stuff they're releasing for their 7-inch line. I'll just throw this one picture up here. And it's supposed to have the Dark Knight Trilogy Gold Label Multiverse figures coming with the Joker, the Bank Robber, the Bane. Bane looks cool. He looks mean. I don't have a Bane. I might bite on that. Then it's got a Flash, and there's the 3-pack here that comes with DC Injustice Supergirl, Dr. Fate, and Joker Eyes Batman. Is that what all comes in that 3-pack? Anyway, some cool stuff coming from Mcfarlane 7-inch. We got a bunch of Turtle stuff coming, and it will be officially for sale on June 25th. And it's going to have a Splinter, a Superfly, a Rocksteady, a Bebop, Leatherhead, and then there's going to be a Party Van, and then 2 motorcycles. So a lot of cool stuff coming from this new toy line. There should also be a 4 Battle Damage figure 2-packs with the 4 Turtles facing off against 4 villains. And this is kind of a kiddie look. It's kind of fun if you're a super fan of Ninja Turtles, then this is something you're after. And for me personally, I might pick up 1 or 2 on sale or clearance, whatever. But I'm really just sticking with NECA and barely able to keep up with NECA. I can't keep up with 4, 5, 6 different toy lines of Turtles anymore. It's just really hard. It's really hard. So anyway, still looks cool. Still looks fun. If you are super into Turtles, I think you're going to love this. So I haven't kept up with anything at all when it comes to this line. This is the Mythic Legions from 4 Horsemen. It looks amazing. Every figure they put out looks fantastic. These look even better than any of the figures I've seen in the past, and they just keep going with amazing designs. But I'm not into it because I don't want to go down that rabbit hole. Still, I just have to be in awe of their work, and they look good. And a lot of these feel like they have references to other toy lines, i.e. they would fit in fine with several other toy lines. And that is kind of why I think Mythic Legions took off so well. So they've got a Skeleton Raider. They have quite a few of these. They've got Thoracis, which I don't really know what that is, and Bureau Dash, and then they've got this horse. So I want to really, the horse caught my attention, and that's another thing they do really good work with, the horses, the steeds, all those kinds of things they're using, kind of like with their Headless Horseman, with the figure Obscure, which I'll have that coming in. So I'll kind of be like, my first thing to get would be that Headless Horseman when that comes in. And with this though, looks really cool. All this line looks amazing. I just can't get into it because of expense and not being able to display it, but looks really nice, and there's another wave coming. Bouncing back to Turtles, there is this Turtle 3-pack coming from NECA, and so with that, there's a whole lot of stuff going on with NECA right now, but this 3-pack is called the Shredder Clones 3-pack, which looks really very interesting, and with that, I think it's repaints of some other figures, some of the other figures they've already made, and still pretty cool, pretty interesting. So we've also got Michelangelo the Wanderer, which is an interesting take on the character and the figure. And so with that, I don't have a whole lot of information on the lore behind it and all of that, but I still think it looks pretty cool, pretty interesting, but it's not for me. I think at this point, you're really having to pick and choose what you really want to get into when it comes to NECA, and it's really hard to say no to any of them because they all look so good. Even if you don't know who they are, it's just they look so good, like this one here. So if you don't know who this one is what they say is the Mirage. No, let's keep it straight. It's the Last Ronin 7-inch Ultimate Sinja Patrol bot. So looks really cool, really interesting. It'd be hard to say no on this. It's $35, a little bit high on the price point, but you get your value out of these figures, and they look fantastic. They look amazing, even if you have no clue what it is. Okay, so we have Mattel Creations with a June 6th, meaning this upcoming Tuesday, is that this upcoming Tuesday, that they are releasing their Vicron figure. And the thing about this is that you're going to get one figure that has all of the accessories to make up these 3 different variations. So if you want one of each, then you need to buy 3. So that's well over $100 plus tax and shipping. But it's still pretty cool that they're making this. And the thing about this is Masterverse, it's not Origins, and it is something that is a bit obscure. I don't think this would sell well at retail, so putting this on Mattel Creations makes sense. I don't think everybody's going to be after this, but who knows? This thing might sell really fast. And I was actually at a toy shop this past weekend, and I noticed that they had the Classics version of this, and they wanted $100 for it, which is probably the correct price. I don't know, but $35 probably. I think that's a great value. I think it's a great value with all the accessories you get. So if you want it, Mattel Creations at 9 a.m. Pacific, probably 11 a.m. Central, June 6th. All right, so people are starting to get their Indiana Jones. I think this is an Amazon exclusive. It's the only place I can find is Amazon. And this is starting to become a problem with Bubblegate. And what that means is that the bubble glue that glues the bubble on to the card is not strong enough and they're falling off. Not anything really wrong with Amazon or any the ones that are coming from Target. It's not their fault. It's the fault of Hasbro's glue. And we had this with what they called Black Series 3.75-inch figures when they were really confusing with Black Series back in the day. And they were falling off really easy. Like they would just sit on the shelf and just fall right off while they're sitting on the shelf. No one even bumps it or knocks it and they fall off. So that's the report that's coming with this. And a lot of people want them on the card back because that is a big deal for this line. And if the bubbles aren't staying on, that's a problem. So anyway, but if you want these, I just checked Amazon. They're $15 versus the standard 12. So I don't know what's going on with that either. But hopefully we can get these for 12 down the road. But wow, some issues. I love the line. I'm glad they're making it. But there's more and more issues popping up. Okay, so getting into some Star Wars news. There's not much. But at Shop Disney, you can get this Ezra Bridger pre-order lightsaber, Legacy lightsaber hilt. And it says Galaxy's Edge on it. It's $170 just for the hilt. And it's not the one that has the laser blaster in it at the same time, I guess. I'm not sure there, but this is one piece of news. Really, it's really the only new news for this Star Wars, which is kind of sad. It kind of sucks, but I went to Galaxy's Edge, and it's pretty interesting what's going on there. But this lightsaber hilt, $170. If you want it, Shop Disney. Okay, so really the only news that's going on this week, aside from that lightsaber, is that these Vintage Collection figures are up for pre-order. Hasbro Pulse and I saw it also at Amazon. I'm not sure other places are going to be getting them just yet, but those are the two places that I've seen that they have them. And there's Hunter for the Vintage Collection 3.75. Then we have the Clone Trooper, which we've kind of seen all of this before, so it's not new news. It's just you can pre-order them now, which I don't know if this was part of the stuff they say that you aren't going to pre-order. But Starkiller on Amazon, I just checked Amazon for Starkiller, and they were sold out on Amazon, I guess, and those are only third parties selling them somehow through pre-order, which was interesting. But they were wanting like $28. So still available on Hasbro Pulse for $17. But this was a very popular figure that came and went back in the day. Now they're putting it back out. I believe it'll be the same number on it, but there's always differences to the new reissues. Probably more legal ease on the back and all that kind of stuff. But if you're interested in this, I think that there's still a huge fan base for the Vintage Collection. This wave is up for pre-order right now. So let me know what you think about this week's weekly news and review. What else is going on out there that I'm sure I missed a bunch of stuff. There's just so much going on this week, and even more probably next week. Like and subscribe to Deer Hanger out.